Good morning on this beautiful, beautiful Fresno sunny morning. Sorry. My name is Jamie Jones, and I serve gratefully as a member of your worship arts team, and my pronouns are she, her. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, California. Welcome to everyone on our Alluvial Avenue church campus, and welcome to everyone on our online church campus. Welcome to everyone joining us later through YouTube or Facebook. We are one congregation in many places. Our Alluvial Avenue campus sits on the traditional homeland of the Yokuts people. They are the past, present, and future stewards of this land that is so sacred to them. As a Unitarian Universalist congregation, we believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion. We believe diversity, equity, and inclusion are our spiritual practices on our shared journey towards human wholeness. I am so happy to assure you that here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, you are welcome no matter your race or culture of origin. You are welcome here no matter your religious background or spiritual beliefs. You are welcome no matter your age, and we celebrate you no matter your primary or secondary language. Our welcome embraces all those with or without documentation. No one is illegal at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. Those of us who are part of the LGBTQIA+ community are welcome here. We welcome gender diversity. We celebrate those of us who are transgender, non-binary, gender fluid, or intersex. We love you, we cherish you, and we promise you that you are not alone. We are not alone. You are welcome no matter your disabilities. You are welcome no matter your disabilities, level of formal education, or neurodiversity. You are welcome here no matter the amount of money you might possess. All are welcome here. Todos son bienvenidos aquí. If you are on our online campus and want to share a joy, sorrow, concern, or gratitude, and include that in today's service, just text it to us at 559-337-3772. Now be sure to text your name as well so we know who you are. You can also type it into the chat box. Now let's take a moment and say buenos dias and greet each other.
Buenos dias. Mi nombre es Timoteo. My name is Tim. My pronouns are he, him, and I serve gratefully as minister here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno. Oh my gosh, there's so many of you here this morning, and I assure you, you all look beautiful. Our world-famous children's choir will be singing this morning. So let's allow the sound of the tingsha to take us to that place of quiet, openness, and appreciation.
Good morning. Buenos dias. My name is Tina Botts, and I'm a member of the Worship Arts team. If you have a candle or a chalice with you on our online campus, bring it close as we'll be lighting it soon. On this kickoff of the annual pledge drive, I'd like to take a moment to share how important it is to me to be able to continue to connect with our church and the church community spiritually, even though I am currently working in Topeka, Kansas. To me, this is evidence that spirit transcends physical separation. I have personally experienced how true this is in life as well as in death. I'm speaking, of course, of the death of loved ones. So when we Unitarian Universalists say we are one congregation in many places, this is not merely metaphorical for us. We believe that what joins us together in community, no matter where we are, who we are, or how we are different, is something that is grounded in spiritual truth. As Unitarian Universalists, we keep love at the center of who we are as people and who we are as a community. And this keeps us united in good times and bad, in times of connection, and also in our divided times on this worldly plane. As you use, we keep at the center of our thoughts and prayers that we stand together in love and justice as we walk through this life together. In that spirit, please light your candle or chalice at home. Jamie, will you please kindle the flame in our Alluvial Avenue chalice? As our flames burn in our chalices, we sing our song of praise. And kids, the best part of the song is the big clap we get to make together in each verse. So let's clap our hands and get our clapping hands ready as we rise in body or spirit and sing, "Enter, rejoice, and come in."
1, 2, 3.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Rejoice and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be
invite us to remain standing as we say together the words of our mission. La misión de la Iglesia Unitaria Universalista de Fresno es amar inclusivamente, crecer espiritualmente, servir con gratitud y trabajar por la justicia. The mission of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno is to love inclusively, grow spiritually, serve gratefully, and work for justice. May it be so. Please be seated.
Good morning and buenos dias. My name is Cheyenne and my pronouns are she and her. I serve gratefully as the team lead for this year's annual pledge drive. And this is Mona, who serves as the assistant team lead and next year's team lead.
Good morning, buenos dias. Me llamo Mona y mi pronombre es ella. My name is Mona and my pronouns are she, her. Hello to everyone on our online campus and our Alluvial Avenue campus.
The pledge drive is when we invite all our members and friends to make a promise of financial support for the upcoming fiscal year. Knowing how much money we all will share with the church allows Rev Tim to finalize the budget based on real dollars we can expect.
Our team has been working behind the scenes since October, committed to securing your financial support. As a proudly progressive church community, our goal is to be together in love and justice, and this requires your participation. With the kickoff today, we want to introduce our annual Pledge Drive team.
We turn you over to Rev Tim on the online campus, and then you'll meet the team. And then you'll meet the team and hear why we support the church financially.
Buenos dias, friends. Welcome to the start of our annual Pledge Drive season. Please allow me to introduce you to the wonderful members of our Pledge Drive team.
Here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno,
on Alluvial Avenue and our beloved online community,
We are always working hard towards a better future.
We believe that we can be agents of change
and heal our fractured world. We care deeply for all living things
and feel strongly about social justice.
By building up this church with the strength of our values,
we can sustain them in the greater community.
By holding the world and caring,
we will all grow spiritually.
And together, we will build a strong foundation on love and justice.
Thank you to all the members of our team as we begin Pledge Drive 2025.
Well, I first became involved in the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno through my partner, Robin, who was involved in some social justice activities in Fresno and met Edie Jessup and Brian Jessup, the previous minister, and his wife here. And what was a big impact when I first came here was love is the doctrine of this church. We're all about love, and I think it's really expressed in the way people treat each other and the way people care about each other and support each other. And the other thing that made me feel like I was really at home was all are welcome here just as they come. I'm a gay man. Robin and I got together, my partner, 55 years, when in 1966, and it was a very difficult time for two men to be out and to be together and to be raising two children together. And so the church just gave us so much support. That's why I say it really saved my life then. And now that Robin is gone, it continues to save my life because this is my family. I think it's been a beacon in the community in terms of love and justice, the UU Church. I mean, we're also much involved with so many activities that deal with social justice. I know for a number of years when Faith in Fresno was going, we were one of the primary churches involved in that organization. And so I think we express that, that whole idea of love and justice in the community through what we do and our activities. Our social justice team, of course, is works very hard and shows up for many things, but I think to make a really big impact in the community, we need to have the involvement of as many people as possible. Without that financial support, the church can't do what it's doing. We can't have the wonderful minister and the support team that we have and the music program we have, which I think is one of the tops anywhere. All of those things take money, and it's just so important that we give as much as we can. This is the only church for me.
So we are going to sing our kids off to their spirit exploration. So young folks, head down the center aisle. Eva is there waving at you to welcome you off to your explorations. Let's sing.
We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be in peace as you go. To nurture the spark of precious life. We hold you in our love as you go.
The beloved Vietnamese Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh reminds us, breath is the bridge which connects life to consciousness, which unites your body to your thoughts. And so in that spirit, I invite us to take in a breath, and as we do, just imagine we're breathing in peace. And as we release that breath, we breathe out love. Again, we take a centering breath in, and as we do, we imagine we're breathing in peace. And we breathe out love. One more time together, breathing in peace. We breathe out love. As we continue breathing together in this sanctuary, this space that we make holy by the beauty of our beating heart, by our intention to be together, gathered in love. And as we breathe, just imagine for a moment that that breath could carry you back over the last week, the last 7 days of our living. Question, in the last week, how were you part of the world's love and not its fear? And knowing we have 7 days ahead of us, what intention would you like to carry with you into the week ahead? Tuck that intention into your heart. As we gather, we create space for all of who we are, for our joys, for our sorrows, for our concerns, of which there are many, and hopefully for our gratitude. Some of us on the way into the sanctuary stopped and wrote that down on a small card that I tucked under the meditation bowl. Others of us texted them to us from our online campus. This is just a little bit of what's alive among us today. There's quite a lot. Claire T. is looking forward to celebrating my birthday tomorrow with friends and later with family. Happy birthday, Claire. And Jody Palmer is feeling gratitude and joy. Jody writes, a shout out to folks who worked yesterday to rake, prune, and trim the landscape plantings, including Carolyn, Bill, Reed, Gib, Lucy, Luca, and David. Lots more to do. Please come help next Saturday morning for an hour or two. Elliot and Eleanor are feeling gratitude and joy, grateful to be back with our church family, and joy for baseball, and baseball underlined. And Eleanor and Elliot, it is great to see you back in the sanctuary. We've missed you, and we're so happy you're here. Nicholas J. is feeling gratitude for being sober and for his new self and life and friends. And Nicholas also has a sorrow. I miss my daughter, Chloe Emma Rose. She's in CPS. We reunite June 9th through June 18th. Pray for us that reunification comes true. I am a single dad, holding you, Nicholas, in our thoughts. And Robert writes, I'm grateful for this church being so welcoming and accepting, also for Cheyenne inviting us to be here this Sunday. And this is a wonderful environment for my sobriety and my newfound friends and family. Vicky writes, Ron and Vicky celebrated our first anniversary on Monday. Congratulations. We are so grateful for all the people who gave us such great memories of our wedding, and I'm grateful to Ron for my best year yet. You both have to stand up. Come on. Yay. Come on, Ron and Vicky. Hooray. Happy first anniversary. And we have one last gratitude. Someone writes, I am so grateful for the beauty of this day and the beauty of all the people here. Amen. We also remember our beloveds, those who we cherish who cannot be with us because of health issues. We think of Susie P., Judy P., Andrew L., who is here today, so it's good to have you back, Andrew. Armin B., Glenda R., Pat M., and Robin C. Realizing that there is much more to the world than just these walls of our sanctuary and our live stream. So looking beyond these walls, we emphatically condemn the ongoing assault against decency and the rule of law that is emanating from Washington, D.C. We grieve all that is happening to our country, from the racist and sexist actions to reassert white masculinity at the top of the military hierarchy, to the sickening pivot towards Putin and Russia, which is a betrayal of our European alliances in favor of a dictator and a war criminal. To demand that Ukraine must sign over 50% of its mineral rights to the U.S. is disgusting. We also mark that we are drawing to the end of February's celebration of Black History Month, a time to focus on and celebrate Black Americans and their long, hard history of survival, endurance, resilience, accomplishment, and success. This morning, we remember and celebrate one of our own, Black Unitarian Fern Gaydon, born in 1905. According to the website sistersource.org, Fern Gaydon attended the University of Chicago and Northwestern University at a time when access to higher education was extremely limited for Black people and for women. Fern Gaydon had a 50-year career as a social worker and was instrumental in forming Chicago's first social workers union. Ms. Gaydon was co-publisher of the magazine then entitled Negro Story, and this earned her the reputation as one of the foremost literary and fine arts commentators and political activists of the Chicago Renaissance. And if you're not sure what the Chicago Renaissance is, be sure to Google and increase your knowledge of Black history. In the 1940s, Fern Gaydon co-founded Chicago's All Souls Unitarian Church, a congregation focused on intentional interracial cooperation. That in the 1940s. We celebrate her life. And so for all that's been shared this morning, for everything that we're holding in that sacred silence of our own hearts, we light our candle of community. In the light of this flame, we sing our call to meditation, Spirit of Life, Fuente de Amor.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Fuente de amor, ven hacia mí y al corazón. Cántale tu compasión, sopla volar, sube en la mar, hasta rodear la justicia de la vida. Arraigame,
Hola, mi nombre es Karen Polnitz, mis pronombres son ella y ella, y sirvo con gratitud como directora del aprendizaje de por vida. Hello, my name is Karen Polnitz. My pronouns are she and they, and I serve gratefully as Director of Lifelong Learning. Our words of prayer and meditation this morning are titled Gentleness in Living by Richard S. Gilbert from the book In the Holy Quiet of This Hour, a meditation manual. Nos unimos en un momento de oración y meditación. Let us join in a time of meditation and prayer. Be gentle with one another. It is a cry from the lives of people battered by thoughtless words and brutal deeds. It comes from the lips of those who speak them and the lives of those who do them. Who of us can look inside another and know what is there of hope and hurt or promise and pain? Who can know from what far places each has come, or to what far places each may hope to go? Our lives are like fragile eggs. They crack and the substance escapes. Handle with care. Handle with exceedingly tender care. For there are human beings within, human beings as vulnerable as we are, who feel as we feel, who hurt as we hurt. Life is too transient to be cruel with one another. It is too short for thoughtlessness, too brief for hurting. Life is long enough for caring. It is lasting enough for sharing, precious enough for love. Be gentle with one another. Que así sea. Bendito sea. Amen. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
Amen.
We gather here in the sanctuary or online with our community, seeking knowledge of life's greatest mysteries, to find peace and solace in a world where so many of us feel unsafe or forgotten. We gather together as a community with a deep connection with each other and with those beyond these walls. May we truly feel the power of love, which is at the center of our Unitarian Universalist faith. As UUs, we work for justice. We struggle for truth within ourselves, and we fight for the dignity of all humanity. For me, this church has nourished my soul in so many ways. It has brought so much joy into my life and has given me a connection with a community that celebrates my authentic self. That is why I give back in the ways that I can. As we approach the time for our offering, please give what you are able for the church that has meant so much to you, for the church that has meant so much to those before us, and for the church that will mean so much for those that we will never know. In a moment, a slide will appear with a quick and easy way to give electronically, including Cash App. We can also pass the baskets in our Alluvial Avenue sanctuary. But first, please join in our words of offering led by Tim.
If not us, then who? If not open hearts, then what? If not now, then when? If not here, then where? If not generously, then how? If not us, then who? Si no somos nosotros, entonces ¿quién? Si no con corazones abiertos, entonces ¿qué? Si no es ahora, entonces ¿cuándo? Si no es aquí, entonces ¿dónde? Si no damos generosamente, entonces ¿cómo? Si no somos nosotros, entonces ¿quién?
The morning offering will be greatly received. May this church continue to be worthy of the many forms of our gifts.
Let our hearts not be hardened to those living on the margins. There is room at the table for everyone. This is where it all begins. This is how we gather in. There is room at the table for everyone. Too long we have wandered, burdened and undone, but there is room at the table for everyone. Let us sing the new world hymn. This is how it all begins. There is room at the table for everyone. There is room for us all, and no gift is too small. There is room at the table for everyone. There's enough if we share. Come on, pull up a chair. There is room at the table for everyone. No matter who you are, no matter where you're from, there is room at the table for everyone. Here and now we can be the beloved community. There is room at the table for everyone. There is room for us all, and no gift is too small. There is room at the table for everyone. There's enough if we share. Come on, pull up a chair. There is room at the table for everyone. Let our hearts not be hardened to those living on the margins. There is room at the table for everyone. This is where it all begins. This is how we gather in. There is room at the table for everyone. There is room for us all, and no gift is too small. There is room at the table for everyone. There's enough if we share. Come on, pull up a chair. There is room at the table for everyone.
So I remember many years ago hearing the spiritual teacher Marianne Williamson tell a story of a time when she was actually giving a lecture, and afterwards a young man came forward and said that he had just lost his young wife, and he was devastated. And she said to him, in times of struggle, in times of loss, in times of great pain, you have a choice. We have a choice. We can either close off our hearts, or we can dare to open our hearts to give love and receive love. And we have a new song that we're going to learn how to sing today about that ability to be strong enough to give love and receive love even in the hardest of times. It's called Good Enough. And you're going to demo it for us, Allison.
Yes, we're going to demo
Lorenzo.
the first verse twice, and then y'all will join us.
And I'm going to invite you to rise.
My hands are strong enough, they're strong enough, and I'm good enough. My hands are strong enough to give love. My hands are strong enough, they're strong enough, and I'm good enough. My hands are strong enough to give love.
Everybody.
My hands are strong enough, they're strong enough, and I'm good enough. My hands are strong enough to give love. My arms are long enough, they're long enough, and I'm good enough. My arms arms are long enough to give love. My heart is wide enough, it's wide enough, and I'm good enough. My heart is wide enough to give love. My light is bright enough, it's bright enough, and I'm good enough. My light is bright enough to give love.
May it be so, blessed be. Amen. Please be seated. So, just a little disclaimer about today's sermon. As you have already heard, today's the kickoff of our annual pledge drive. And when I was a newly minted minister, I used to dread this day because I felt like anybody who was visiting for the first or second time, they're going to be like, oh my God, all they talk about is money. But I came to realize that it really is an extraordinary gift to be present, to watch a church community make a choice to renew itself, to be present for another year of its important ministry. So, no apologies. You picked a good day to be here. Now, I have shared this story many times over the last 20 plus years, and I share it again this morning because in many ways it captures perfectly the heart of this year's annual pledge drive theme: together in love and justice. Could we just say that? Together in love and justice. And dear ones, with all that is unfolding in our country, with all that is breaking down in our country, it is essential that in the days and weeks and months to come, we must stay together in love and justice. We must work together in love and justice. We must embody together love and justice. So this is a true story, and I was given permission to share it. Some of us have heard it before. For others of us, it's going to be the first time we hear it, and I am really happy to share it with you today. It was a rainy Sunday morning in early December, the day that she first crossed the threshold and stepped into the church. This was years and years ago in another part of the country, in another congregation. I remember seeing Sarah enter. Her hair was damp. She looked rushed and anxious. We were well into singing our opening hymn, and under the cover of that song, she slipped into the last seat on the left side of the sanctuary. I noticed her several times during the service, but she didn't seem engaged. Her eyes, they just stared out the window. At the end of the service, I invited everyone to stand and join hands for the benediction, and then began with my favorite words to close a service. Go now in peace. May you leave this place knowing you are good and knowing you are loved. The service ended. Sarah quickly slipped out the sanctuary doors, talking to no one. But she came back the following Sunday. Week after week, she came back. Her rushed and anxious energy slowly became slower and more centered. You could see something had shifted in her. Within a year, Sarah had found her place among us. She first tentatively became part of the social justice team, and then, when invited, she stepped forward to become chair of our social justice team. Her passion for gathering people together in the pursuit of justice led her to leading our congregation's marriage equality work at the Virginia State House. And don't you know it, it was there on the steps of that State House, doing that justice work, that Sarah met a wonderful woman, fell in love, and they soon were planning their wedding. Sarah and Yolanda were truly together in love and justice, and they embodied this within our congregation and beyond in the larger community. A few years later, Sarah told me something. Do you remember that first Sunday I came to church, that rainy, cold Sunday? Yes, of course, I remember, I answered. Sarah went on. What I never told you was that the day before, on Saturday, I had just been released from the psychiatric ward, where I had been for 10 days after trying to take my own life. I got out on Saturday and didn't know what I was going to do, except that I knew I would try to hurt myself again in the next week. Sarah continued. When I woke up on Sunday morning, I remember feeling that I didn't want to be alone, that I needed to be with other people. Someone had told me about this funky church on the west side of town that welcomed everybody. And I thought, I'll just go sit there so I don't feel so alone. I didn't listen to much of what happened in the service. My head was too much of a jumble. But then at the end of the service, you invited us to stand up and join hands for the benediction. And this stranger reached out to me. It had been so long since someone had held my hand. I suddenly didn't feel so completely alone. Then you spoke those benediction words I will never forget. Go now in peace. May you leave this place knowing you are good and knowing you are loved. That was the first time in my life anyone had ever told me I was good. This church, this Unitarian Universalist faith, told me that I was good. This church, this Unitarian Universalist faith, saw me and saw me as worthy of love. That moment saved my life. My dear ones, I truly believe that it is a profound spiritual act to put love at the center of a community. It is a profound spiritual act to put love at the center of this church community. To do so means that we must together embody that love. Together embody that love. The spiritual teachings from the world's religions are clear about what that love must look like. The Buddhist scriptures teach love is the bridge that connects hearts. Speak with kindness. Choose love over hate, for love brings peace. The Christian scriptures tell us that love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not act rudely or selfishly, does not count up offenses, takes no pleasure in injustice. Love includes all things. That's the Christian scriptures. Love includes all things. My dear ones, inclusion is what love looks like in community. Inclusion is what love looks like in community. Sarah's experience of this kind of inclusion transformed her life. Jan Richardson writes, "You hardly knew how hungry you were to be gathered in, to receive the welcome that invited you to enter entirely. Nothing of you found foreign or strange, nothing of your life that you were asked to leave behind or carry in silence or in shame. Tentative steps became settling in, leaning into the blessing that unfolded you, taking your place in the circle that stunned you with its unimagined grace. You began to breathe again, to move without fear, to speak with abandon the words you carried in your bones that echoed in your being. You learned to sing. But the deal with this blessing is that it will not leave you alone, will not let you linger in safety, in stasis. The time will come when this blessing will ask you to leave, not because it has tired of you, but because it desires for you to become the sanctuary that you have found, to speak your word in the world, to tell what you have heard with your own ears, seen with your own eyes, known in your own heart, that you are beloved, beautiful to behold, and you are welcome and more than welcome here. Bring here your individual search for truth and meaning. Bring here your precious heart, longing to shape a spiritual life that is authentic to you, ever growing, ever deepening, and ever changing. Bring yourself here, where in community we become more together than we could ever be on our own. Inclusion is what love looks like in community. But Sarah didn't stop there. Unitarian Universalism doesn't stop there. Unitarian Universalism doesn't stop at the four walls of the sanctuary. It doesn't stop with a live stream that connects all of us together into one congregation in many places, una congregación en muchos lugares. Unitarian Universalism tells us that being together in love is important, but that is only part of who we are and how we are called to be. Unitarian Universalism calls us to be together in love and justice. And good old Cornel West tells us that justice is what love looks like in public. Inclusion is what love looks like in community, and justice is what love looks like in public. Would you say that with me? Inclusion is what love looks like in community. Justice is what love looks like in public. Chad Schneider writes, "Love speaks to the real pain in the world. Love knows. It knows hate and fear, selfishness, greed, bullet and blade, the cutting edge of indifference. Love knows, and love does not let us turn away." Which is why Sarah ended up as chair of the social justice team, and why in the early 2000s she led her Unitarian Universalist congregation's work for marriage equality. Together in love and justice, which is why our congregation marches for Black Lives Matter, which is why our BLM banners boldly proclaim this truth to everybody who drives by on Alluvial Avenue. Together in love and justice, which is why we display pride flags at the doorways of our sanctuary and up here on the chancel, which is why some of us speak out at City Hall, others at school board meetings, others at the County Board of Supervisor meetings where our voice is needed, which is why we pen op-eds in the Fresno Bee, which is why from the start we called for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, why we aren't afraid to condemn the appalling actions of MAGA and that new administration in Washington, D.C., and that is why we are going to write thousands and thousands of postcards and letters and make call after call to turn out the vote in special elections and in the upcoming midterms, which is why we join our strength in collaboration with other churches and unions and civic organizations to make our collective voice heard loudly in the Central Valley as part of the Central Valley IAF Coalition. Together in love and justice. Could you say that? Together in love and justice. Now, as you've already heard, today is the kickoff of our annual pledge drive. This is that sacred time when members, friends, and first-time financial supporters of this church ensure that for another year, we, the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, we continue to thrive as a beacon of progressive religious values in the Central Valley and beyond. Being together in love and justice compels us to talk about money this morning. But today isn't about money. It is about something larger, our congregation's mission too. And if you're comfortable, will you say this with me? Our mission to love inclusively, grow spiritually, serve gratefully, and work for justice. Amar inclusivamente, crecer espiritualmente, servir con gratitud y trabajar por la justicia. It takes money to fund this mission. A church can't sustain itself on good intentions. It needs our contributions. We ask each other to pledge what we can, if we can, for the next fiscal year, which begins on July 1st. From the total of those pledges, we finalize a budget to sustain our spiritual community for another year. So I know some of us are asking, what funding is required to stay together in love and justice for another year? According to our draft budget, we need financial pledges of support that amount to $599,760. Did you know that a year of Sunday morning services costs around $211,000, which includes staff, our previously purchased equipment, and then all the new computers, software, and hardware that Ian needed to fix some mistakes that were happening on the live stream that now allow us to broadcast the Sunday service live from the sanctuary to our online campus. Hello to you on our online campus. To fully fund and expand our Sunday morning children's programming requires over $86,000. Are you uplifted by the music each Sunday? Let's try that again. Are you uplifted by the music each Sunday? Woo! For that alone, we need almost $76,000. Do you like the beauty and serenity of our Alluvial Avenue campus? And if you haven't seen it at night, you got to come. It is so beautiful. We need $28,000 a year to maintain our church grounds. Lights, air conditioning, water, and other utilities require over $59,000. If we take our entire budget and divide it between the total number of pledging members and friends, the average cost per member is about $3,575. Now, many, many, many people give much more because they can do so. Some pledges are in the tens of thousands of dollars because they're able to do so, and we thank you. Others pledge in the $5,000 to $12,000 range, thank you. Others in the several $1,000 range. Others pledge several $100s. There are some of us who pledge so generously at $1 a week for a total of $52 a year because we want to support our church even as we struggle to make it through the week. And some of us can't spare anything right now, but if our schedule permits, we try to give some of our time. And some of us just need to be here and be spiritually nurtured and be held in love by this community and do nothing else, and that's just fine by us. I want to be so clear, and I feel like we say this every year and someone still doesn't hear it. Everyone is welcome at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, California, no matter our financial circumstances. There is no charge to be a member or a friend. Those who have more pledge more for those of us whose financial situation is tighter. That is truly what it means to be a church that is together in love and justice. Now, I don't ask anything of you that I won't do myself. Last year, I pledged well over 6% of my pre-tax salary right back to you for a total of $7,210. This year, the Pledge Drive team is asking those of us who currently pledge to, if we can, increase our pledge by 2%, or even more if we're able. So this year, I decided to increase my pledge by 5% to add a little extra for somebody who can't increase theirs. That's just what we do as a church. So to you, to us, to the members, friends, and our new financial supporters of this church, I pledge $7,570. Now, as I said last year, sharing in a church community is different than giving to charity. It's different than writing a check to Planned Parenthood, the ACLU, or Citizens Climate Lobby. Those contributions are all essential. But this church is different from charities and social change organizations. This church, it's the place where we come when the cares and worries of our life seem too much for us. This church is where we come to recharge our weary spirits, and my gosh, some of our spirits are really weary right now. This church is the place we come to weep at what we see in the world, and the place we come when we need to laugh and sing again. It's a place we come when we feel overwhelmed by headlines that terrify us. This is the place we come to let go of dogma and damnation. This is the place we come to be recalled to our best selves again. This is the place we come to create good trouble. It's the place that invites us to breathe in peace and breathe out love. This is the place that is small enough to want to know us by name, and this is the place that is big enough to hold all our doubts, all our questions, and all our glorious answers. This is the place we come to find God, or goddess, or spirit, or source, or our own humanity. This is the place we come to be reminded that we are good and that we are loved. And in the difficult days ahead, this is the place that will help us hold on to this reality first proclaimed by the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word. This is why what is right temporarily defeated is stronger than evil triumphant. Could we say that together? We believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word. This is why what is right, temporarily defeated, is stronger than evil triumphant. And one more time, loud enough so they can hear us in Washington, D.C. We believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word. This is why what is right, temporarily defeated, is stronger than evil triumphant. My dear ones, we will weather this storm together in love and justice. Let's rise in body or spirit and join in singing right here. Let's try that again. Let's rise in body or spirit and join in singing right here. One more time. Let's time this perfectly. Let us rise in body or spirit and join in singing right here.
2, 3, 4.
Be seated.
Hi again. We are this year's Pledge Drive team leads. Mona and I are here to ask you in the spirit of generosity to make a financial pledge of our church today.
Cheyenne and I ask because this congregation is based on the foundation of all being together in love and justice. That is this year's Pledge Drive theme. But we need your financial help, whether you are on our Alluvial Ave campus or our online campus.
When we enter the Pledge Drive season each year, we individually ask ourselves how much this church means to our own lives, and we give accordingly as our circumstances allow. Here at UU Fresno, we are transparent in terms of our finances and all church members are given the chance to vote on the budget that will be created at the conclusion of our successful pledge drive. I am proud to be a part of this congregation. I am proud to help support our future at a time when the world needs a message of love and justice. To that end, we are asking, if possible, that you please increase your pledge by 2%, and if you've never pledged before, please begin your financial support of our amazing church.
Most members and friends have already received their pledge packets, either in the mail or via email, with our beautiful logo of people gathered together in love and justice. If you haven't, just email pledge@uufresno.org, scan the QR code, or pick up a pledge card at the table in the breezeway on our Alluvial Ave campus.
If you are on our online campus, we especially need your financial support to fund the professionals who make live streaming possible.
Now, kicking off our annual pledge drive, I have the pleasure of announcing our leadership pledging amount. The leadership pledge amount comes from 25 congregants who serve on the board of trustees, the annual pledge team, and the volunteer leads of some of our many, many teams. Can we have a drum roll? All right. We have our slide. Our total so far on day one is $104,244.
That is 17.38% of our goal of $599,760. We only have 495,516 left to go. Please make your pledge today. In that spirit, please rise in body and spirit as we sing the ending chorus of Right Here.
Woo. Let's do it. Right here.
All we need, all we need, all we need is right here. All we need, all we need, all we need is right here. All we need, all we need, all we need is right here. All we need, all we need, all we need is right here.
Please be seated. Joining us again from Topeka, Kansas, from our online campus is Tina Botts.
Hi everyone, Tina Botts here again. In the days ahead, let us remember that we go forward together in love and justice. Together we can lift our eyes to all we love and we hold dear, because all we need is right here. Please join us in our chalice extinguishing words, led by Karen and Troy.
Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts.
Just a few quick reminders before our closing words and then our sung benediction. Cecily is our coordinator of community life. If you are new or newish to this church, Cecily is your go-to person. She has the answers to every question in the universe that you might have. And she is ready to hand those out to you during coffee hour in our sun-dappled courtyard. You also, if you're new or newish, might want to look for the turquoise. I've stopped being able to say, what color is that out there? Turquoise, thank you. See, I told you she has the answer to every question in the universe. Our turquoise tablecloth, that is a table with a member of our board of trustees will be there. So grab your cup of coffee. You can go to that table and somebody will be there eager to talk with you. Today in our sanctuary at 12:15, I'll be leading a one-time seminar called Love, Lust. I love that I get to say lust in church and the lightning bolt comes down. Love, Lust, and Lost, the lyrics of Stephen Sondheim. That's at 12:15 here in the sanctuary. Next Saturday, March 1st, is our campus cleanup. It'll go on from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. There will be refreshments. Bring gloves, water, hat, rake, clippers, and loppers. And that's why the big dumpster is out there in the parking lot for everything. And you can come for just an hour. And if you've got kids, they can come and they'll pick up a branch or two and then head off into their day. But it's a chance for all of us to give just a little time and effort to this church community. Next Sunday, March 2nd, we will begin our Unitarian Universalist Common Read, read by congregations across the country. The book is Authentic Selves, Celebrating Trans and Non-Binary People and Their Families. There will be 4 sessions beginning next Sunday, and you can attend whether you read the book or not. And just a reminder that our new Unitarian Universalist Fresno BIPOC group meets now the 3rd Sunday of the month from 12:15 to 1:15. Last but not least, we like to welcome folks who are here for the first, second, or third time. We do it not to embarrass you. We're genuinely glad that you are here on this Pledge Drive Sunday. So if it is your first, second, or third time and you're feeling brave, could you rise for a moment? I promise we won't leave you standing alone for long. Welcome, yay, welcome, 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 welcome. I invite the rest of the congregation to rise with them for our closing words and then our sung benediction. If you came with somebody, feel free to join hands. If not, you can place your hands over your heart. Go now in peace. May you leave this place knowing you are good and knowing you are loved. Take your love from this place, share it with the world, stay safe until we meet again. And may the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and that pure light that is within you guide your way on. Blessed be. Amen. Let's sing.
2, 3, 4.
May we have safe passage, safe passage. May we have safe passage, safe passage on our way, safe passage on your way, wanderer, safe passage on your way, searcher. Safe passage on your way, sweet pilgrim, safe passage on our way. May we have safe passage, safe passage. May we have safe passage, safe passage on our way.
Shalom and assalamu alaikum.
2, 3, 4.